first of all, when I was in Swindon, no chance like to envision yourself playing against England at the Euros or Portugal with Cristiano Ronaldo, or even scoring in that game, you know.
Still hoping that goal went in, by the way, that shot there at the post. I'm still desperate for that. But
that would
be a great moment.
I told you to practice that right foot, Timmy. I told you.
But I'm lefty, you know. And against Portugal, I scored with my right foot. Now right foot, it's time I start shooting with the left one, you know. It's better. The main thing from the manager, it was just the name, you know. Don't get caught up in when you're reading England, you know. If we get caught up in that, we are in trouble. They all have 2 legs like we do, 2 feet. They're humans. Doesn't matter how much they're worth. You know, even the draw is probably gonna be enough, and we both can qualify, England and Slovenia, and we're all happy. You know, I also have my second family, English family, you know, in Diggs, where I lived in Derby when I moved over. I brought them over here for the last game, so they're gonna see me play against England, and for them it's also a surreal experience. You know, we had this kid staying with us, and now he's playing against England.
Welcome, football fans, to Breaking Lines, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the beautiful game like never before. I'm Gary Rowett, former player and manager, joined by the insightful Dave Carolan, a man with his finger on the pulse of football's beating heart. Together, Dave and I bring you unrivaled insight, context, and a few stories from the trenches. Join us as we dissect the game, break down the plays, and explore the intricate dance between managers, players, fans, and the beautiful game itself. This is Breaking Lines, where the game is more than just a match.
Timmy, welcome to Breaking Lines podcast at the Euros, and you're there. You're live in Germany at the moment. How have you found the tournament so far?
Yeah, cheers, guys. First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor, you know, ex-coaches to invite me to something like this. And being in Germany now at the Euros, it's like I said before, I keep saying it, it's basically living the dreams, you know, when you're a little kid. Every 2-4 years when it's World Cup, Euros, you support your team, watching big stars, 3 games a day. Like for the whole month, the world stuff is just football, football, football. And now you're a part of this circus, you know, and now we are battling with the big stars. And for our country, it's been 24 years since the last Euros. So we are the big heroes now in Slovenia. You know, all the kids, they look up to us now, like we did the previous generations. And you're not really aware of it. You are the main guy now. You are the star in your country. So yeah, you're just taking it day by day, you know, do what you know you're capable of, and anything can happen. So yeah, it's been good so far. A bit heartbroken at the end of the second game, obviously, because it will be first time for Slovenia to go out of the group if we beat Serbia. But yeah, we're still in the game. Obviously, England is waiting for us, and it's gone by so quickly, you know, these... We're together now for 1 month, being in Germany 10-14 days. It's just like a flashback, bam, 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 every day. You know, it's not boring, at least.
So where are you staying? Are you staying somewhere out in the middle of the countryside, nice and quiet? Or are you in a town or a city where it's like you get to go and embrace any of the atmosphere? Do you get any time away from the football, or is it all football? Or do you have some time to do some fun things as well?
Yeah, we are based in a town called Wuppertal. It's close to Cologne and Düsseldorf. We played in Stuttgart, Munich, and the last game against England is in Cologne. And Cologne is like 40 minutes with the bus. It's countryside. It's not a lot of people. It's basically a golf resort. So we have some old people playing golf, but that's it. No one is bothering us. The hotel is closed just for us. They said to us that I think Portugal and some bigger teams wanted to stay here, but they have too many people. You know, the hotel is not big enough for them. Whereas Slovenia, you know, we don't have that many kitmans or whatever, doctors, physios, and we're able to all fit into this beautiful hotel. we drive to the town nearby where they have the stadium. Even if it's like small town, the stadium is 30,000 people. So because they used to be back in the day in the second division, and it's fun. We flew to the first two games like the day before, sleep over there, play, and then fly back here. Only to the last England game we go by bus because it's a bit closer. We are very pleased, with our national team, what they've done to like provide us with whatever we need. Basically, it's not on the level of England. On Instagram, Twitter, X, you see they have even paddle pitches to play, and we cannot really afford to bring like everything, but it's been amazing what the support they give us.
Timi, how intense has the training been? Give people a flavour of what sort of training you'd be doing. Would that slow down a little bit more as you prepare for the next game? Would you get much chance to work? How long have you been preparing for the Euros as a national team?
It's like I said, we've been together for 1 month. Obviously, it depended when someone finished with the league. Like our home league in Slovenia, we finished pretty quick. We have a couple of guys in Greece. They also finished earlier. But like Serie A, Bundesliga, they played for 2 or 3 more weeks. So at the beginning, it was just like 10, 12 players back in Slovenia at our camp. And this was like pre-season, I think I played like 60 or 60 something games in the season. You finish and then you go to the national team and straight bam, running, getting the legs going, 200, 400, 600 pyramids, it was quite tough. And it was also getting hot. So it killed us a little bit, but that was the goal, we knew if we do the hard job now, it's going to be a bit easier when the games come on, because we're going to be fitter. But then when the rest of the boys join in, after everyone finished the season, we also had 2 friendlies, then it all come down a little bit, like normal schedule, and then after, when we got to the Germany, it's usual stuff, 4 days before the game, maybe a bit harder, but then more tactical work, and last day, 2 days, some set pieces, and just some small-sided games, and that's basically it. Then after the game, obviously 1-2 days you need for recovery. Obviously the guys that don't play, they have a bit harder trainings, and then it's all like -1, -2 to the new one, and again some tactical work, set pieces, and that's basically it. I think at this level, it's just the most important that you recover, that you're physically as close to 100% you can be. The rest, after the long seasons everyone has, they don't really need, I think, especially in big teams, they know everything, it's just to get the mental state right and physically to be sharp.
But it's interesting, I suppose. So,
obviously you guys came into the tournament with a great record, and you've continued that into the tournament as well. Like, I think you've only had, in competitive games, 2 defeats in the last 12 or something. So you guys must be full of confidence, and that must then transmit itself into the atmosphere in the group. Obviously, your fans have been unbelievable with the support they've given you at each of the grands. But, in terms of the 2 games so far, you've performed really well. Confidence must be at a real high after the performances, yeah?
Yeah, confidence is high, like you said. We're also like proud of what we are achieving, but we are not like up in the sky in the clouds with our heads. We are still like Slovenia. We only have 2 million people. The expectations are not really high. Maybe this helps us a little bit because every game someone else, the opponent, is a favorite. So if you do something positive, everyone is happy. It's not like you're expected to win. Everyone else is under more pressure. And we've been doing well, like you said. Even in the qualifiers, we only had 1 defeat, and that was against Denmark. They have a really good team. And in the first game, you could tell like we know each other and we knew what to expect, and we were maybe a bit afraid of them. And it's for everyone. It's the first time playing this level, this tournament. So we were like a bit shocked, especially me, playing in Slovenian league. we have like 500, maybe 1,000 people in average in the attendance. Only for like derbies, they have like 10,000 people maybe.
Yeah.
But then in the second game, it was like any other game, you know. This moment when you're shocked at the stage, it was just first game, first half an hour. Then after, it was normal. So you adapt quickly as a player. And yeah, the team is confident, like you said. We know that we are capable of beating the big teams. We had a friendly against Portugal in March. We beat them 2-0. So, you know, then after a while, it kind of like becomes normal that, you know, you can go up against these players, these teams, and we're not scared of anyone. And like I said, the whole country is already so proud of us that we are here, and we're not here to get kicked in the ass. We are competitive, so everyone is blown away, you know. So whatever happens now against England, if we manage to go through or not, we've already done our job. And playing without pressure, you know, embracing the moment, enjoying it, I think this is the most important thing, and they're letting us do it. You know, it's not like England and English media and they're favorites every tournament, and you win, but you're not playing good. It's the worst in the world. It's a bit different with us.
Timmy, how did you feel in the second game? You know, going from the EFL, the loans you had earlier in your career as a young player, and then finding yourself performing to that sort of level, you know, the great bit of skill at the edge of the box and the shot that we were all willing to go in and just hit the post, and then to then create the assist as well. So, you know, how proud have you been to now be representing your national team and performing so well?
I didn't catch every word of the question, but I have a fair idea what was it. Yeah, like starting professional football in England, getting a couple of chances in the cup for Derby County in the first team, then going on loan to just get first team football minutes. I learned there basically what it means to play professional football. You know, in the academy before, it was always unlucky, good job, next one's going to be better. Then you get to the League Two and you see that this is how they feed the families. You know, this is their job. And you play well, but you lose. Everyone's going crazy, you know, and you're like a bit shocked at the beginning, 18-year-old, like what is going on? And then you play like a disaster and you somehow win with a header 1-0. Everyone is happy. It's completely different to the academy, but I learned a lot at that period, you know, and then this helps me now also, I think. All this experience in England, I'm really grateful for that. Obviously, it didn't end up breaking through at Derby County, playing in the championship, but this is football, you know. It was special circumstances, you know. Obviously, so much money put in, pressure on the first team to get promoted, no really time to bring in the youngsters and give them a chance. And when my contract ran out, I just decided, even if for some people this is like a step back, to go back to Slovenia, I'm going to make that step. I said specifically where I want to play if I go back there, because I wanted to have a better bounce board for the future, you know. Depends in which club you play, how far you can make a transfer after, you know, in Slovenia, because it's such a small country. You want to play for the titles, you want to play in Europe maybe. And yeah, this ended up, I went to Ljubljana, the capital city. This season we played in Conference League. Just by coming back in Slovenia, I reminded everyone about myself. To be fair, like in the younger national teams, the manager is in Slovenia. They don't really follow League One, League Two. They follow a little bit Championship. So they kind of lost the idea, where is Timi, who is Timi, and Slovenia forgot about me, you know. And me deciding going back home, even if it was for a bit less money and a lower level, at least they see me every week, you know, they watch Slovenian League. So I remember, I remember like going there, first season when I came back, I just started playing. We play head-to-head last game of the season for the title with Celje. I scored 2 goals and we draw 2-2. Like, we needed the win. So we almost became champion, and everyone was like, fuck, you know, who is this kid? You know, this is the guy who went to England, you know, two goals. And from there on, poof, I was straight in under 21 national team, captain. After a while, they called me up for the first team. We are here in Euros now. So yeah, it's a bit weird, you know. You have to go back home just to remind them who you are, what you're capable of, and even in the national team, in the first team, I didn't get a chance straight away. I was waiting for my turn, being patient because there are bigger players ahead of me. You know, we have this hierarchy, and you have to respect it. But once I got a chance, I didn't let it go, and I've been in the first 11 ever since. The whole qualifiers, friendlies, and now in Euros, and I'm just trying my best. You know, that's all you can do. Respect the coach, what he wants, and don't go out of the box. You know, be realistic, what you're capable of, and you know, just do your job. And this is me now in the midfield, doing the dirty work, defensively running, covering spaces, and on offense, if I can offer something, so be it. Even better, you know. You have to be realistic. You're not like Lionel Messi, just give me the ball, you're gonna dribble everyone, especially at this level. So it's been a great honor, like I said. Unbelievable, you know, wearing this badge, Euros, coming from England, you know. Maybe now after the Euros, the door opened for me to go back home, second home, back to England. You never know. You need something like this for like any bigger transfers. So we're gonna see what this opportunity is gonna bring. But I'm really not focused on this at the moment. It's just England in 2 days. Give your all, be the best version of yourself, and whatever happens after, you know, it's in the hands of the club and the managers. But it's time for me now to make a transfer to go back abroad, out of Slovenia, because I've been there in 4 years now. I should have gone earlier, but it was a bit political within the club and stuff like that, and they kept me there for 4 years. And I'm 26 now. I think physically I'm now in my prime. So, but I have this experience of being out, you know, being in England. So it's not gonna be a shock for me when I move out to some other country, and I know what to expect, you know, kind of.
So, when you're playing at Swindon, and then 4 years later you're playing against Ronaldo, you couldn't have envisaged that journey maybe, but then you also get to play with some great players that you've got in your own team. You've got Jan Oblak, you've got Sesko. You know, it just shows that Slovenian players can progress and be on the world stage, you know. And why can't you be on that world stage as well?
Yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, when I was in Swindon, no chance like to envision yourself playing against England at Euros, or Portugal with Cristiano Ronaldo, even scoring in that game, you know. But that is just the path.
You picked a good game to score your first goal against, you know, just to introduce yourself to Ronaldo.
Exactly. Ronaldo, so now head to head, 1-0 to Timi, you know. But yeah, like when your career goes one path, everything like is becoming normal, you know. Maybe if someone is looking from outside, they're like, oh, you're playing this level now, how is it, where you came from? But you go step by step, and every day it just becomes normal, you know. It's not like out of nowhere, out of Swindon, they threw me to a Portugal game, then it would be a big shock. But
of course,
when you progress like that, it just becomes part of you. Like you said, Slovenia, we have some good players. The core is still quite young. I think this Euros for a couple of players can be a springboard to make transfers into better leagues, better clubs, and they're just gonna grow there. So if we keep these core players and we develop like we should, in the future, I hope it's not gonna be 24 years again to qualify for Euros for Slovenia. You know, I think we have good chances of being now regular in these competitions. I hope I'm gonna be one of them to go to better club where they're gonna take good care of me, to develop me even more, because I know I still have some room to grow. I'm not a finished product, so bring it on.
Timi, how you mentioned the young players in the national team coming through. How important is having a player like Jan Oblak within that group? You know, the experience that he's had at Atletico Madrid. You know, Slovenian National Player of the Year 7 times, I think it is. You know, major trophies. You know, how important is someone like that, and what sort of influence does someone like him have within the group in terms of belief?
It's a massive difference. You know, if you can choose one position, one player, and choose whoever you want, I think the keeper is the one that can make the biggest difference, really. You know, you can be a bad team, you're defending, but if the keeper is top class, he can save you and bring you points. Any other player, it's more system, you know. Even if you bring Ronaldo to our team, he's not going to score alone, you know. He needs help. Where keeper, he can, like, do everything on his own, basically. And Jan Oblak, he's a top goalkeeper. That's probably the biggest difference I've noticed going from like Slovenian league and to the national team and training. You know, in the play, okay, I can do it. I'm one of them. You can see like it's not such a big difference in the level, but the keeper, yeah, that was the biggest difference. You know, in the league, just it's nowhere near the same level. To him, you really have to hit top bins so hard to score. So you just don't realize how he saves some stuff, and how he affects the team is probably his calmness. You know, he played in a Champions League final. They play for trophies there every year, and he's used to this. I asked him, is there any difference now for you playing Euros with Slovenia or Atletico, Champions League semi-final, final, whatever? He said, no, not really. He's used to it, you know. It's just day of work for him, you know, back in the office. So the way he presents himself before the games, in the tough moments, he brings calmness to the others. You know, maybe someone is a bit nervous and you see a leader and he's not bothered. Like, he knows he's going to take care of it or something. Yeah, okay, he's got it. Now I'm a bit calmer and yeah, we can go. So he's the first one to pull the whole team, and yeah, we are really lucky to have him.
And at the other end of the pitch with Sesko, he loves to shoot from range, and we saw in the previous game for England that, you know, a shot from outside of the box went in. So is he going to be a real threat in the game coming up?
Yeah, for sure. Every opponent we play at every game, Sesko is always a threat. And then they have to take special care of him, you know, maybe put two players or him, just because of his speed, his physicality, running in behind, holding the ball. He's high, tall. He's got everything for a modern striker, you know, and shoot from outside the box. Really, Denmark, he hit a wood post. Then another one, and keeper couldn't save it. It was basically a couple of inches past the post. Now against Serbia again. It's getting closer and closer, you know, so it's just about a time when he's going to score his first Euro goal. If it's not against England, maybe in the next rounds or in the next Euros, because like I said, I believe Slovenia now is going to be more regular. But yeah, he is a real threat, so they're going to have to take special care of him. And like we see, England conceded, yeah, like you said, outside of the box. They're not really the best at closing down this area, 20, 25 meters away from goal. And it's like Adidas on purpose, they make balls for tournaments to be lighter, faster, just because they want attractive football. And the goals you see, they're unbelievable. And it's always like this, like in South Africa, Jabulani, in Brazil, in the last World Cup. You know, it's like they make special kind of balls and they produce more spectacular goals, and you can really shoot this one from 30 meters, and if you hit it well, keeper has small chances. So yeah, you see a lot of goals, and you have to get this in the head, you know. Yeah, why not try it? Like, it's possible with this ball, and it's a bit of a switch, you know, and Sesko is always looking for the opportunities, and he's definitely going to try to score against England.
So coming on to the England game now, it's the next game, isn't it? It's the one where it's the vital final game. You've got qualification in your own hands. So how have the coaching staff gone about preparing you? Did it focus on the team or on individuals, or do you do your own work on any of the players you're coming up against? Because let's be honest, you're going up against a couple of decent midfielders, but one in particular.
Yeah. We had a short analysis earlier. Tomorrow is going to be a bit more. They basically do everything individual, the whole team, and they send us everything to computers, tablets, phones. So you can, if someone is interested, you can look at everything. but they don't want to bother everyone. We are different. So for the whole team, they narrow it down, maybe most important stuff. What are their characteristics, how they play, formations, what are the substitutions, and then solutions, like what did Denmark do, what did Serbia do, and what worked well for the opponent against England, and to have the idea what could help us. The main thing from the manager, it was just the name. Don't get caught up in when you're reading England. If we get caught up in that, we are in trouble. They all have 2 legs like we do, 2 feet. They are humans. Doesn't matter how much they're worth. If you put them under pressure, if you confident in yourself, they have problems also, like we saw in the first 2 games. So for us, it's just a mentality. Don't be scared of them. Like we weren't scared of Denmark and Serbia, and like I said, we can cause problems to everyone, especially with Oblak. It's easier to keep the 0 behind, and 1 point for us, it's most likely is gonna be enough. But on the other hand, we are hungry for goals. So I think for us, it's the best, these type of games, when the opponent is better, and we can be in middle block, maybe a bit lower, and then we surprise them from the counter. Sometimes we have bigger problems if we are the dominant team and someone is defending lower, and then we have to create something, then it's a bit hard, and you really need special quality. But these type of games, it's bread and butter for Slovenia. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really not scared of them, and I've played against some of them already in the academies. Obviously, Bellingham at the moment, everyone is just talking about him. It's gonna be an honor to play against a player like that after the season he's had. Real Madrid, now number 10. But like I said, before the game against Portugal, I also was looking at Ronaldo as this figure. But then when you see him in a tunnel and when you go over the line and he's on the pitch, I was a bit disappointed, frankly. Just because one of your idols, the stars, he becomes human. Where before he was, you have this picture of them like they're something else. And when the whistle blows, it's just normal business as usual. So we're gonna have to be good physically, like I said, recover, because it's probably gonna be a lot of running. But definitely not scared of the England.
Timmy, how important is that mindset? Because, it's really interesting for you to say that, because again, sometimes people from afar would look at the Slovenian team and maybe think of some of the players might be playing a team like England, and maybe, looking at some of the players, but actually you've said it there, that the mindset has to be, and it's so important that you're on a par with those teams. If you look at your team's 2 performances, you could argue that they've been more impressive than England's by far. There's been a lot of criticism of the English national team in the 2 games so far. So how important is that mindset, and how do you come to that point where, you started off in some of those loans that you spoke about earlier in your career, and you're now at a level where you truly believe that you're every bit as good as those players on the pitch?
Yeah, if you don't believe, then it's already 1-0 in the tunnel before the game starts, because they're just look, they have more quality. We all know that they are at that level because they deserve it, But obviously, it's different coming from Slovenia or coming from England. The whole system, the clubs. So I think even our guys, they have the quality, they just didn't have the facilities to develop more, to reach this higher level. Šeško is just one of the guys that maybe did break through earlier, someone else after, because that's just, we say, is the price of the passport. Even if in our area, if you're Croatian or Serbian, you're worth more because the national team had more success and they produced more players, but they're not really better than some of the Slovenian players. Just Slovenia, it was always just the keepers that were valued, Handanovic in Inter and Udinese, and now Jan Oblak. So if you have a young keeper Slovenian, you can sell him like this because everyone believes, he's from Slovenia, he's a keeper, he has good potential. But for players, it was a bit harder. But for me, yeah, like you said, coming from Swindon and now believing you can compete with Bellingham or Declan Rice, it's just experience, really. Playing 3 games now against Denmark, and they have Højbjerg from Tottenham. I can go head to head with him. Then playing against Portugal, they have players from PSG or whatever, and you see, okay, I'm not out of place, and you just grow the belief in yourself. And now you look left or right over your shoulder. Teammates in the national team, now they believe the same, and the coach, he's really good with the words. He's giving us belief, and then it just grows, you know. And even when we don't perform well, we somehow pull the result. And when we lost, we didn't break. It was not, okay, keep it here and now go forward. It was not like we fell down the hole and then you need a couple of years again to rebuild the team. Because like I said, everything now, it's working for Slovenia. This process, it's been at least 3 or 4 years keeping the same players. Even if someone else was maybe playing in the clubs better, they were not necessarily put in the national team, even if someone would say they deserve it, because the national team manager really wanted to keep the same guys together. He believed in us, and it helped us. You know, sometimes you get a couple of good players, same position, egos, and it's just chaos and problems for the team. Where now we're all the same. Whoever plays, it doesn't really matter, you know, for the same goal. And I think we need that, you know, as a Slovenia. We don't have such a pool of players with that quality like bigger teams. So yeah, this is the only way to be like proper group of friends off the pitch. That when you're playing on the pitch, he's like one of my best mates. I'm gonna slide tackle for him to save his ass if he makes a mistake. Where if I'm playing with someone who I'm not that close to, this is a bit harder, maybe, you know. So yeah, I think this is a strong suit of Slovenia.
Is now with this game, the final game, obviously we wish you well for the game. Depending on the results, say for example Slovenia aren't able to go through, what does that mean then for you, Timi? For do you stay and watch more of the Euros and take in the atmosphere, or because you've just come out of a busy season, is it try and get some break before you restart?
Yeah, we don't really have a plan because everything is up in the air. Even if we lose, it depends on the Denmark and Serbia. If Serbia lose, we are still third, and then we still have to wait 1 or 2 days for the rest of the groups to finish to see if you can qualify with 2 points as a third best team in the group. So probably we're gonna stay here still 1 or 2 days after the English game, and then we know what's the situation. If it's the end, my girlfriend and my daughter, they're waiting to go on holidays, so I'm gonna have to pack the suitcases and go to somewhere seaside and enjoy some time. I don't know how long it's gonna be. My teammates from the club, they had a really long break, longer than usual because of the Euros, so hopefully they're gonna give me at least 2 weeks. But like I said, I'm 99% sure, you know, I'm going to be making a transfer now. So maybe they're even going to say, look, until we finalize the transfer, you're free. You don't have to report back. Because all the other leagues, they start preseason after, you know, so they just maybe they're going to send me to go to preseason with the new team when it happens. For sure, I'm gonna watch Euros, but on TV. I'm not gonna stay in Germany to go to any games. It's also hard with tickets and everything else. So yeah, it's been a long season, and but I wanted to keep going a bit longer. To be honest, don't want it to finish just yet. The sea is gonna wait for me. You know, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yes.
And then, in the future, now everything is so positive, everything is going well, you don't want it to stop, you know. Family is first, and they want me to come home and be with them. So you need this period and to clear the head. But then I cannot wait for the new season to start, you know. If I make a transfer, you have to show yourself that you are worth it, you know, and then new league, new opportunities, and I'm always hungry, you know. I don't want it to stop now. So I'm really looking forward to the new season, and hopefully the preseason is not gonna be too hard. You know, with all these games, you don't really need a lot after. If someone has 1 month break, then obviously a bit more running for them. But I feel good, and the rest is more for the head than the body.
Yeah, if you have good performance staff, they'll take that into account and they'll just let you like roll back in, pick up where you left off.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, it's important to get that downtime, isn't it? Because it's a stressful time, even though it's really enjoyable. You know that it's always the build up to the game, to come down from the game, and then preparing again. It's important to have some relaxation. What do you guys do to relax when you're at the training ground? Do you play games, or like you say you have a golf course? Do you go?
Yeah, we have table tennis, darts. PlayStation, obviously, they gave us to play some FIFA, golf. But in Slovenia, it's a bit different with golf. You know, you need like proper licenses to go and play. So no one really plays it. So we just went to the driving range and tried to hit some balls and just messing around. We didn't go on the course. So yeah, mostly play some cards, table tennis, and darts. And obviously, like I said, 3 games a day. Watch other games. Everyone is obsessed with football. And, you know, always some little knocks, so therapy, massages. It's always something on the schedule. First and foremost, I think it's the rest is important, you know, for the body, for the legs to recover. And, this is basically what we do here. Eat, sleep, mess around, and wait for football.
Timi, as a proud Irishman, Dave's calm exterior, he's desperate for you to continue in this tournament, by the way. He's absolutely desperate for you to knock England out. He keeps asking these questions, but he knows exactly what he's after.
Yeah, but you know, even the draw is probably going to be enough, and we both can qualify, England and Slovenia, and we're all happy. You know, I also have my second family, English family, you know, in Diggs, where I lived in Derby when I moved over. I've brought them over here for the last game, so they're going to see me play against England, and for them it's also a surreal experience. You know, we had this kid staying with us, and now he's playing against England. So, they're also going to be supporting, cheering for Slovenia for me. But if we knock out England, I don't know how happy they're going to be.
There's a small part of Derby that will be supporting Slovenia this week.
Sure, Kedleston Road. The one on Kedleston Road.
For sure. Yeah, I see so many messages, you know, and I understand it. You know, they are happy I was one of them. They're a bit sad why they didn't keep me, but this is football. You could never know, you know, with 18, 19 years old, I'm going to be here today. I wish them all the best, you know, coming back to the championship this season. Hopefully they're going to stabilize the club and keep growing and get them up where they're supposed to be.
Well, listen, I mean, Timi, it's been brilliant for us to watch you, you know, to all those sort of years ago as a young player at Derby. And I think your character back then was, you know, you're such a positive character. And I think, you know, at the time you needed that experience on loan to take the next step. But it's been fantastic for us to watch you, you know, and develop the way you have done. And like you say, putting in those performances. I was still hoping that goal went in, by the way, that shot there at the post. I'm still desperate for that. That would be a great moment.
I told you to practice that right foot, Timi. I told you.
But I'm lefty, you know, and against Portugal, I scored with my right foot. Now right foot, it's time I start shooting with the left one, you know, it's better. So,
there you go. If Dave didn't do all that running with you, maybe would have done a bit more technical work, then that would have been absolutely fine.
No, the assist, what about the cross for the goal? The assist was something special as well, wasn't it? What a great cross.
Thank you.
Anyway, Timi, thanks so much for joining us from Germany for Breaking Lines, and we wish you all the very best. Well, at least I do. I wish you all the very best for Tuesday night against England.
You know so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was an honor to be guest, and all the best to you in both of your careers, and enjoy the Euros. I hope I'm going to make you proud again against England because I was one of your footballers. So it must be a special feeling also when you see someone you know, someone you work with. And all the best. Thank you.
Fabulous. We're Slovenian fans now.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks, Timmy. Take care.
Bye bye.
Thank you, mate.